Hi, I'm Tim Peters, and today I will be interviewing Kyle, who identifies as a flat earther.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you want to put a label on it, sure. I'm a flat earther. I consider myself to be a realist. I'm also a libertarian. I think the government has a lot to do with this whole brainwashing. People have convinced themselves that this earth is a sphere.
Okay, so are you a member of the Flat Earth Society?
Yes and no. I would say that I agree with them about 80%. I tend to think of God being more responsible for a lot of what's going on in our world.
So why do you believe the earth is flat?
Well, I don't believe it's flat. I know it's flat. There's a couple. I mean, for one, you can trust what you've read in these government-issued school books all you want. At the end of the day, it's the government supplying this information to people, and we're talking about the same government that steals from you every single year, every single paycheck. They're stealing from you. Waco was not that long ago. People tend to forget stuff like that. Am I supposed to believe the same people that brought the towers down? No, I'm not going to sit there and listen to this just nonsense.
So, do you have any evidence to support your claims?
I mean, are you talking about okay. Well, there have been experiments done. The Bedford experiment's a really famous one. Actually, even the Bishop experiment, where people were lying down on their stomachs 23 miles away from another beach and seeing through a telescope exactly what was going on that beach 23 miles away. If you take into account the size of the Earth that they say that it is, I think it's after about a mile it drops off about 8 inches. 23 miles away, you wouldn't be able to see the tops of their heads. You wouldn't be able to see anything going on that beach if this were a sphere.
Very, very interesting. So, on a flat Earth, how would night and day work?
It's easy. Okay. This table. This table, if you were standing above this table, would look round, But if you get down and you look at the table at a lower level, you understand that this table is flat. It's all the way across. Same way. Doesn't necessarily make it a sphere, okay? And people are telling us that we're revolving around the sun. That's actually not true. What's actually happening, say this table is Earth. Then the sun would be above it here. The moon would be on the opposite side. And it's actually rotating around the top of us here. And as it's doing that, the moon is actually going at a slower speed. This is why we have different moon shapes and things like that. And this is why every now and then these people over here will get an eclipse and things like that. It doesn't happen very often, but eventually it does. But that answers your question.
Okay, so many people have been to outer space. Surely they'd be able to tell us.
No, they're not.
Care to explain?
Yeah, I mean, again, you're trusting your government to tell you that something that started during the Cold War, the space race, the Russians were trying to beat us up there. We were trying to beat them up there. And all of a sudden they realized, oh, it's way cheaper just to fake this thing. So they did. And that's not the only thing. And they just kind of kept going with it. Do you know how expensive it would be to actually send somebody to Mars or the moon or something like that, as opposed to just getting a room like this, putting up a bunch of props, and speeding up the video, slowing it down, making it seem all spacewalky, It's actually not even that good of a video if you watch the moonwalking video.
So if the Earth is flat, why do we see a curvature when traveling by plane?
You don't. Again, you've been brainwashed into thinking you're seeing something that you're not. Have you ever, you've had a window seat on an airplane, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand how thick that glass is?
Relatively thick?
Yeah, it's about 7 or 8 inches thick. It's really thick, man. And it's also, it's not even flat, it's actually curved itself. If you put your hand up to the glass, it is curved. It's going to reflect the light in such a way that, it's going to look a little curvature. And it's going to look like it has a curvature out there. It doesn't necessarily mean what you are seeing is not an optical illusion of that glass.
So in line with this plane questioning, how would you say gravity would work on this flat Earth?
Doesn't. I mean, what you would call gravity is something entirely different. You know, we're led to believe that we're just surrounded by this force field all around this spherical ball just floating around nowhere. And it was, oh yeah, Isaac Newton, that's the guy. Okay, you're going to go, okay. What's actually happening is we are not rotating like this. We are actually being propelled through space at a almost constant speed, and it's very slowly accelerating over time. If it weren't slowly accelerating over time, then what would happen is, as this moves up and you were to jump, well, you'd be moving at the same speed as everything else. So you would just kind of hover there. So, but if it's actually speeding up slightly the whole time, the Earth's going to basically, you don't fall back to the Earth. The Earth catches up to you.
So what would you say is propelling the Earth upward?
Dark matter. I mean, that's that. Have you even studied flat Earth theory at all? In this interview.
Care to explain dark matter?
Dark matter. It's basically the driving force in this universe, and it is the thing that moves the Earth forward. It's the thing that moves our sun and moon around the top of us. It's the same reason that these stars that you're seeing are in different places at different times, and you know the celestial cycles. You see Mars in one place, and it has a specific pattern. Well, that's also dark energy doing that as well.
Okay. Well, speaking of the planets, are they also flat, like you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Why would they not?
Well, when we look at them through a telescope, they appear spherical.
Again, if you were up there on that ceiling looking down at this table, what do you see?
Guess I'd see a circle.
Yes, you would see a circle. But if you were sitting right here, what would you see?
Guess I'd see a flat body.
Yes, you would. So, basically, when we're seeing these planets up there, when they appear around to us, what's actually happening is they're just facing us. You know, if you get your telescope out and look for Jupiter and you can't find it, chances are the thing is probably at such an angle that we're now looking at the side of it. And the distance between us and that, you're not going to be able to actually see it.
Okay. All right. So, backtracking a little here. Why do you think the Earth is being pushed upward?
I don't think it's being pushed upward. I think it's being pulled.
Pulled to what?
God. I think God is inevitably pulling us towards Him. And it's what may seem like billions of years to us is seconds to Him. He's just calling us home.
All right. Well, thank you, Kyle.